Hello, and welcome to the Focusing Way podcast, available on iTunes and Stitcher. I'm your host, David Battistella. I often speak about putting focusing to the test. Does it work? To me, a test means stressing something to the point where you understand its failure or breaking point. I've put focusing to this test in my own life, always looking for situations where it does not apply or cannot help. Today on the Focusing Way podcast, we're going to hear about one of those ultimate tests. Dr. Mohammed Al-Tawil is a PhD in mental health. He has a PhD in clinical psychology. He's a chartered psychologist, a complex trauma psychotherapist, a family psychotherapist, a CBT practitioner, a focusing-oriented psychotherapist, and a clinical psychologist. And he's the founder of the Palestine Trauma Center. I've just read you a long list of accomplishments. What makes it more amazing is that Mohammed Al-Tawil is Palestinian. He was born and raised in a refugee camp in the Gaza Strip. As a boy, he threw stones, suffered beatings that left him permanently disabled, and has spent time in prison. Over the past 5 years, he's been training and focusing with adults with Jerry Conway, a focusing trainer and the UK coordinator of the Focusing in Gaza project. He's also been training and focusing with children and families with Simon Kilner. He's been a registered focusing trainer since 2014. In this powerful conversation, he shares with us his pathway out of Gaza, but also his powerful passion to help his people, and he's using his education and focusing as primary tools to help the people back in Gaza who are still suffering the trauma of living in an occupied state. Could you, for me, describe at what point, and for our audience, at what point you would consider somebody as suffering from PTSD? How does somebody present when you as a clinical psychologist can assess that person as suffering from PTSD? Or I'll just say the words, post-traumatic stress disorder.
Yeah, there's the different things here. There's some people they can see like in DSM-4, there's the American manual for diagnosis for this, and part of this it's already for PTSD. So already we use tools already match and validated with what already quite internationally people in different countries, they use DSM-4 and 5 now. Mm-hmm. So already I developed as a part of my PhD one tools to be match with the criteria of PTSD. So the PTSD, it has different things. Some things called psychological issues, but sometimes people they issue it differently. Some people say there's quite common symptoms, like, for example, re-experience. So there's some symptoms people they can feel like already easily to be triggered with the trauma. Mm-hmm. They can feel like flash memory. Mm-hmm. They can have a problem with to go avoidance, mm-hmm. like to go to his house, especially in a war zone, mm-hmm. Or to walk in this street. No, I don't want to walk. Or even to talk about the experience. Sometimes it's easily to caught up and to be overwhelmed because it's deeply affected. So mm-hmm. These sometimes people try to avoid talking even about these experience. Avoiding to go to some places, mm-hmm. because that could trigger their trauma. Maybe, for example, my daughters and my children, when they come to the UK from Gaza, they've been frightened when they hear the noise of, the post. There's a hole in the door. They put the postage.
Yes.
When they hear that click and noise, they are shaken and look what's happening. So it's a trigger. Some things. When they come to the UK, we travel from Egypt, from Cairo to the London. My children refuse to come on the airplane. I said, why? What's happening? He said, no, this airplane, it's dangerous. It's killing people. So these items, it trigger the trauma and make the people upset, they're feeling and maybe crying. So it takes time. So it's a lot. This is just a few example of, there's another one also area called arousal.
Yes.
The trauma can make these people feel like more psychologically and physically easily to be worried, extreming, nervous, and sometimes affecting even their functioning. So that's what I developed this and make it more clear. There's psychological symptoms.
Yes.
It's affect even the cognitive side, psychological and psychosocial. Some of these children, they have problem in their stomach, they have problem in their neck, in their hands, and sometimes they don't know what's this. When they go to the doctors can't, the GP, general practitioners, they can't find the reason. They said, we don't know your body what is upset. So it's psychological problem sometimes, bedwetting, back, pain. So these psychosomatic. So we have three main areas of trauma, as already mentioned in the DSM-4 and 5, psychological, cognitive, psychological, and psychosomatic. This is the symptoms. Also in DSM-5, which I was criticizing in DSM-4, wasn't mentioned clearly about the functioning, but in DSM-5 now it's already there. And it's talking about the functioning. So there's symptoms, psychological symptoms, and also the social and how much these traumatized children and adults can performance. How is they are doing in their school? Is the trauma affecting their academic achievement or their relation within the family, within the outside the family, the community?
Yes.
So with some people traumatized, it could easily affect this. So when we work with them, we need to know all of these things.
Yes.
Psychological buttons and functioning, how they functioning, these people. And that's it's working with the focusing. So we found in focusing, it's improved hugely the functioning parts. But some of the clients still they need more deeping services or maybe therapeutic. But in total, we found the focusing really helped them because some of the trauma they are very deep.
Yes.
You can't treat it in 3 months. So at least in focusing, you give them the tools. We can't change the physical environment around the traumatized people, but they learn in the focusing skills how they change their response, their reaction to the physical environment. So we have in focusing, we be honest with the people when we work with them and my colleagues when they work with them. Okay, you learn some things, but you are the person. If you want to change, you can change how you respond to your tragedy. If you lost your house or if you lost your family members, you are the key. So we are as a focuser, we facilitator in focusing to support you and to give you the tools. But you should take advantage of this and work on it. So it's about this person. So that's the focusing, try to acknowledge the suffering of these people and to listen to them, give them more space to go inside safely without judgment. Because when people in the formal or traditional therapy, it's called like uh, therapist or psychotherapist driven.
Yes.
But in focusing, they have different approaches. We have normal or traditional focusing, which is client driven. It's a
Right.
client centered. But there's another they call focusing therapeutic, focusing oriented therapy.
Focusing oriented therapy.
Yeah,
Yes.
this one may be a mixture of both, of client center or therapist center. But we are doing in Gaza at this stage because for me, I learned both. But we start just the stage one.
Uh huh.
It's just a client center. So the person, the client who's in charge, we are here as a focuser, as a listener or a supporter to support him, listen to him, give him the space, give him some tools, some suggestion if he wants, if
Yes.
he's ready. All these things is very beautiful. It's worked very nicely, very gently, and respect and acknowledge even the suffering and acknowledge and respect their what they are doing and the hardship they had or they've been through. So this just briefly about our experience in Gaza.
Was there a cultural component to psychotherapy? Is it culturally not accepted? Is that a challenge for you?
Yeah, of course. Not just in Palestine, in the Eastern cultural or Eastern countries like Middle East, Arabs or Muslim countries, they have this. We call it in psychology. We call it stigma.
Yes.
So they have sensitivity of receiving receiving the treatment or psychological treatment. We've been aware about this since we started, since now 12 years ago. What we've done on this area, it's already very sensitive. Some people, they prefer to die rather than not going to seek any help from the psychologist because the people they feel they are frightened people they feel like they are worried about their image and how the people and neighbors will look at them if they are psychologists working with them.
Yes.
They said, oh, they might people, even themselves, the people they receive this, they are frightened from stigma. They might feel they are crazy, they are mad, and they are frightened also other people to think or believe they are crazy because they are receiving a psychological treatment. In Palestine Trauma Center, what we did, we even changed the name. So, for example, family therapy, we call it enhancing and supporting the family.
Yes.
Simple as that. And if they don't want to come to the center, we visit them. If they don't want the team to put on or to wear the uniform, we don't put. So we try to be very gentle with them and to tell them come here to support you. Everyone has this hardship. Is natural to be in difficulties. So it's not shame. So we've been working with them and go to the schools, walking in the street. It changed how we can intervene with the people. So we have we have outreach, we have in the center. So we try to use different way. So we use the play, we use the painting, we use the objects. So we try to show them it's psychology, not just working with the crazy people. Anyone to improve his quality of life and his capacity to look after his children as a parent or the children themselves is good to learn these skills. So now people they improve the way they look to the psychology and the services.
Has focusing helped you in dealing with the trauma that you experienced in your life?
100%. Focusing for me was my personal journey in focusing helped me a lot. As already myself, I had quite a few numbers of trauma in my childhood and in my adult also. So with focusing, feel like more close to my feeling, give me more space and more strength to carry on, to help myself, to help my family, and to help my friends and my people in Gaza. So I have very positive feeling, and I feel like I'm lucky that I learned focusing. As a psychologist, it's add on very unique things, which is give me more opportunity to look at myself, not just as a psychologist, learn like CBT or EMDR or family therapy or these things. Focusing, it has a different flavor, which is the first program. Because as a psychologist, I feel like, oh, I'm a fixer. I can fix everything. But with focusing, it's learn a lot how to be gentle. When you approach the clients, you need to build more trust, and the way you are, even your tone, how to use your body gesture. So lots of, it's very, it's like a high, even the language, it's high language, very respectful, yeah, it gives the person who's using the focusing or the other people feel like you are human. You work with very nice, very gently with yourself and with others.
How did you adapt the focusing specifically for Gaza?
We adapted firstly here in the UK with Arabic speaking.
Yes.
And when we felt it's successful, it's good. So we went there to Gaza with the team, with Jerry, Mary, and Rainy, and myself. We taught the team there, the core group, focusing there. But before even deliver there, the focusing, myself here with the team, we have a developing team. We try to make it more attached to the culture. Like, for example, people in Gaza, they have complex trauma.
Yes.
So they are more attached with objects to release their trauma and to talk about it. For example, we developed, for example, a green stick and a dry stick for resilience.
Okay.
So if you want to talk and to take somebody in a journey in a focusing, okay, they will benefit from that. But we found more effective, more powerful to come and to have a branch, green stick from the tree, and to get a dry stick and to work on the people about it and tell them, okay, look, here is the green stick. Try to bend it. And if we don't have a green stick, we just ask them to imagine. You have, like now, David, imagine you have a green stick.
Yes.
Try to bend it.
Yes. Okay.
Break it, it will bend.
Right.
And in the other way, if you have a stick, dry stick, and bend it or try to break it, it will break.
It will snap, yes.
What's the difference? And the person, when he has a trauma, it has a heavy, like a pressure.
Yes.
It's come on the stick. So if you are more flexible and you work and you are aware about this, you will carry on and try to maybe use this challenge on your favor rather than to make this pressure kill you or make you more weaker. So it will be for person when they're using focusing, it will be like the green stick.
Yes.
More flexible, more strength. They can develop different reactions and different coping strategies, and with acknowledging yourself and others. So that's make you feel strength. You believe what you are doing. You have a trust. When you're helping others, you feel like this is something also helping yourself, because that's will be purification and the person. But when you are not listening, shut down, and have dark on your eyes, you can't see the spot of the hope. It's very important in resilience and in trauma. So if I have this darkness in the front of my eyes, I can't see my feeling, I can't go inside. It's difficult to generate coping strategies. So you'll be like a dry stick, very difficult. So
rigid and able to break.
Yeah, easily.
It sounds like you've used the metaphor of an olive branch very literally.
A lot. So this is one of the things which is sometimes and somehow could be indirect. So this is one. We develop another one called, but this is just examples for teddy bear for the children. So teddy bear, bring it, and the child, I can't take him in a focusing journey. See this teddy bear, how he feels, or she, how she feels,
Yeah.
depends about the gender. So might the child call this as a female teddy bear or male teddy bear. How it feel if maybe he has hardship or anything. So the child can talk about him or herself through the teddy bear. So that's indirect. It's very safe technique
Yeah.
rather than to ask the child, tell me how you feel inside.
Yes.
Because some of the trauma, there's some children or adults speechless. They can't speak about their feeling. So what we use in focusing, we develop some tools like green dry stick, like teddy bear,
Yes.
uh, to be indirect and gentle and safe tools. So this is what we develop. And also we would add on the cultural, some things about the Quran, about the Muslims culture. Like for example, we bring some text from the Quran and we put it on the pictures and we
Yes.
put it on the table, and then the person he can pick up objects, whether maybe a proverb or for uh, verb or text from the Quran or from Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So these things on the table. So we give him a choice to pick up any object from on the table, and then he can talk about this if he feel ready or if he feel fine, individual or with a group.
Yeah. And that's all about honoring the person and their wishes. And not only that, what they really truly want to express, the place from which they want to express their feelings rather than imposing it. That's one beautiful thing about focusing, about the flexibility of allowing that person to come to the process on their terms and where they want to begin.
Yeah, that's very important.
Yeah.
Give the person to be not like imposed, feel like I'm after him. I want him to do this and to do that to fix him. No, it's very gentle process, which really we found is very useful with people, especially with people, with any people, not just for people who are traumatized, but focusing work very good with people, even if they have a trauma. It can help him in somehow, at least increase their resilience and acceptance, the way they look to themselves, the way they look the way they react to the trauma. It's skills.
Yeah.
Give them a nice, good skills for their daily life.
Yeah. You mentioned earlier that you yourself are a father now to 3 children.
Yeah.
And you're not living in Gaza.
No.
And your children are being raised in the West, in the UK.
Yeah.
Can you talk a bit about the life that you're seeing them experience compared to the childhood you had?
2 of these children, they were born in Gaza. 2 of my children.
Mm-hmm.
One of them, he came here when he was 1 year and a half. I didn't see him because of the siege in Gaza, imposed in Gaza. So, but they are very fortunate now. They are living in safe, nice, clean area. No threaten, no weapons, no bombs, no death. When I asked them, we need to go back and live in Gaza, and said, no. Why we should go there? They like people there, but they said the life there is very tough.
Mm-hmm.
It's very hard. Why we should go there? We could visit them when it's safe.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they like staying here. But they have keep connection with our relatives, because myself and my family, the only people out of Gaza. Most of my friends, my brothers, sisters, most of them in Gaza. I'm just the only one out.
Have you been able to help some of your own family members with the tools that you've given yourself?
It's not just one. When I talk to them, the way I'm talking to them, whether my family or friends or even my colleagues, I use the focusing, because focusing is quite different from other approaches. It's come to your life, to your daily life, the way you are parenting your children, the way you are dealing with your wife, with yourself, with your friends. So the way I'm talking to my families, it's in a focusing way. So we listen to them, give them a space. So gentle way. So before I found myself different after I've been with focusing. More supportive, more understanding, more listening.
What is your biggest dream when you think about the trauma center and what you'd like it to accomplish?
My big dream is just realistic. I would like this experience to grow up more and more and express and spread. So as me, I was fortunate, and I would again thank Richard and Harvard and Jerry and Mary and Rene and Simon Kilbert. These people helped me a lot, and Catherine in the now director of Focusing Institute, and uh, other people maybe I can't remember at the moment. And it's really I feel like I'm fortunate to learn this and to use it in my life, and not just in my personal life first and my professional life. So my dream, I want other people to be lucky like me and to learn focusing and to spread this, especially in the Middle East, among the Arabic speakers, as a very gentle tools, easily to be learned to. So hopefully, this project and successful experience in Palestine Trauma Center and focusing in Gaza to be moved and developed to other areas, especially now, even in Europe, there is a millions of refugees. They speak Arabic. They speak
Yes.
Arabic, and we wish we people they can listen to us, if they can support us to give them this opportunity for their life and to reduce the troubles they have already through their war, through the war or the refugee journey. So that's my dream. I will feel very happy when I saw the smile on the child or on the people, especially if these unfortunate refugees in my country and outside. So that's my big dream. So I feel like more resilience when I can help these people, whether by focusing or any other means.
Yeah. Well, I think that is really something that we all want in the world, that people could bring focusing to their own lives and understand that it brings a kind of gentleness and an understanding and a respect, an internal respect, and which turns into kind of an external respect, and the kind of good that it can bring. At one point, you mentioned the children who were presenting with physical problems, sore stomach or those kinds of things, and doctors saying, a medical doctor saying, well, there's nothing actually wrong.
Yeah.
And you relating that to post-traumatic stress. Can you just tell me a bit about that?
Yeah, this topic I already was my topic in my first doctorate in Egypt about psychosomatic. So I was aware about that, and any trauma there's some people already, everywhere you go, you ask some, and my daughter already experienced this. I've been taking her for about, when she came here in 2008, I took her about and follow up meetings with the medical doctors about 2 years about her some of physical pain. But doctors and different doctors check her, they said nothing.
Yeah.
But it was, for me, it just because she came from a war zone, which is psychosomatic or somatoform disorders. So I did my PhD, first PhD about this topic, and I found myself through my work with the child before I came to the UK also, that some children or adults, when they have a trauma, and sometimes the trauma can generate some of these symptoms, which is complaint, physical complaint. And then when they go all the investigation tests, medical tests, nothing wrong with these people. And just, the body sometimes got upset because of the trauma.
Yeah.
And when the person can't release this trauma, they can't talk about it even. In some places, they don't have enough freedom to talk about what's happening. When I was left my family trapped in Gaza before 2008, when I went to conferences, sometimes people, they know me, my voice is normal. But when I spoke about this suffering, it affects even the tone, the voice of the people. And sometimes people said, you feel like angry. I said, I can't be relaxed when I speak about this tragedy and hell with the people they are living, especially now for 10 years after in the siege. People, that some people in Gaza last few months, they burn themselves.
Wow.
Because some of these children or adults, they just dropped from the 5 floors and they like suicide, they kill themselves.
Yes.
Because there's some people now, life and death, it's equal. They can't see any hope for their living.
Yeah.
Everything is around them, it's bad. And the hope is very, very narrow, very, very tiny, and not everyone can get it, or they can feel it or touch it. And people sometimes feel, oh, this is a huge suffering, especially, suffering everywhere, but for Palestinians, especially in Gaza, 10 years under the siege so far, till right this moment. 70 years under the occupation. All these problems. They don't have airport. They don't have seaport. They can't travel. For me now, my parents passed away last 5 years. I couldn't see them. And right now, I can't even, it's untreated. For me, it's still recovered. So I feel like because I couldn't be with the funeral also.
So there was something there in you that couldn't even grieve the loss of your own parents.
And this is very simple for the people in Gaza. Some people they have a cancer. They have a cancer. They can't leave their country. They can't go to other place to get treatment. So imagine people on the earth, they have this sort of things. It's Sweden, they can't leave. People feel like they are dying, but also they can't get, the chemotherapy for the cancer. It's unallowed to go to Gaza. Why? Because the Israeli feel that this might be, people use it in double use for against them.
Yeah.
So it's a huge people. They can't carry all this suffering.
When you're focusing with people, you mentioned the word dignity, and I was wondering, do you feel that focusing has helped some people restore a little piece of themselves, and in so doing, a little piece of their own dignity?
Yes, I'm going to speak shortly about this because there's somebody coming. He want to use the room where I am.
Okay.
But dignity, focusing, it's help dignity because you feel you are a human, and the person who listen to you, who already sympathize, there's a humanity there within focusing. So and very close, and it's dignity. So this is the humanity. What's the benefit if you are human and you just eating and drinking and you don't have dignity? What's left for you to be alive and to be surviving? So dignity is very important. Dignity, justice, freedom, it's together.
And I really wanted to take a moment right now to just acknowledge how much you've shared here today, and to really thank you for the work that you're doing and for sharing with me so generously the stories of what has been happening and how you've been bringing focusing to people in a difficult part of the world. So I would just like to thank you very much for taking the time today.
Yeah, thank you, David, for giving me this opportunity to get in touch with my feeling about focusing. So yeah, I acknowledge that and thank you so much.
You've been listening to the Focusing Way podcast, available on iTunes and Stitcher. Also, please check out our website at thefocusingway.com.